Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the pretty wild modern fame of an author who's about to hit a huge milestone, her 250th birthday. But Jane Austen, she's way more than just a classic writer from your high school English class. She's become a legit pop culture icon.
So, yeah, that's the big mystery here, right? How on earth did an author who's been around for 250 years become a total icon for Gen Z? I mean, we're talking about a writer from a world of bonnets and ballrooms. How does that connect with a generation raised on TikTok and Netflix? Well, let's get into it. Okay, first things first. This isn't just, a feeling some of us have or some niche literary trend. No way. We are smack in the middle of a huge, totally measurable Austen revival. And the evidence, it's literally everywhere.
And just look at the numbers. It's kind of mind-blowing. In 2025 alone, sales of her books shot up by over 40%. I mean, think about that. For an author who's been in print for over 200 years, that is a massive increase. It's a clear signal that there's this huge new wave of interest.
So what's behind all this? Well, it's pretty much a perfect storm. On one hand, you've got the big media players like Netflix and Audible just pouring money into brand new adaptations. Think Pride and Prejudice for a whole new generation. Then you've got this boom in literary tourism. People are flocking to her homes in England. And then at the same time, you have this grassroots explosion happening on social media. The whole book talk community is discovering her, maybe for the very first time, and making her a viral sensation. It's coming from all sides. Okay, but that still leaves the most important question. Why? Why her? Why now? Why are these stories hitting so hard for us today? The answer, and it's a big one, starts with her themes, which, as you're about to see, are just shockingly relevant to our lives.
Just take a look at this. It really breaks it down. Her characters were worried about marriage being an economic necessity. Today, we're stressing about financial instability. They felt all this pressure to find the right partner. We're dealing with intense social pressure coming from every direction. They were trying to navigate a super rigid society. We're just trying to survive and find our place in a world that often feels like it wasn't made for us. Seriously, the anxieties are almost exactly the same. Only the costumes have changed. And this quote just nails it. It's why her characters feel so alive. They weren't just sitting around waiting for a husband. Not at all. They were fighting for their own voice, for their own agency. There are these incredible examples of female empowerment, sure, but it's more than that. They're all about empathy, that deep ability to connect with other people, which is just as crucial today as it was 250 years ago. But, it wasn't just what she was writing about. It was how she wrote it. Her actual style was, well, it was centuries ahead of its time. And that's a huge reason why she feels less like a historical author and more like someone writing today.
One of her big secrets is a technique called free indirect discourse. Now, that sounds super academic, but it's actually pretty simple. It's a way of writing that just drops you straight into a character's head, without all the clunky he thought or she felt stuff. You're not just being told what they're thinking, you're actually experiencing their thoughts and feelings as they happen. It creates this incredible sense of intimacy. You feel like you really know them.
And then, of course, there's her legendary wit. Just listen to the opening line of Pride and Prejudice. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. I mean, come on! That is a masterclass in irony. She's not stating a fact, she's making fun of the gossipy, money-obsessed society she lived in. That kind of sharp, critical humor feels so incredibly fresh, even now. And as the author Carolina Capria points out, Austen's novels are just packed with sharp dialogue and action. She doesn't waste time on long, flowery descriptions. The pacing is quick, it feels cinematic, almost like you're reading a script for a modern TV show. And that's exactly why her books are so easy and so perfect to adapt for the screen.
So all this modern fandom, it might seem like a brand new thing, right? But believe it or not, Jane Austen has had a super devoted, organized following for well over 100 years. Her legacy is this amazing story of evolution. So here's the quick history. Austen was born way back in 1775, and she had this incredible burst of creativity between 1811 and 1815, publishing her most famous novels. But then, so tragically, she passed away at just 41. But her influence, it just kept getting stronger. By the late 1800s, her fans were so passionate that they actually got a nickname, Janeites. And then that term got cemented in pop culture by, of all people, Rudyard Kipling in the 1920s.
So yeah, this isn't just some passing trend. It's a real literary legacy.
And her own life was pretty fascinating. She was the daughter of a rector, one of 8 kids, so she grew up in this really lively, educated house. Her closest friend and confidant was her sister, Cassandra, who, just like Jane, never married. This close-knit family circle, that was the world she knew, and it became the world she captured so brilliantly in her novels.
So how do you get from a Janeite in the 1920s to a Gen Z fan today? Well, through memes, of course. And you're going to love this. Researchers at Cambridge University found that Jane Austen is the most memized writer on the internet, right after Shakespeare. Think about it, all those Mr. Darcy reaction gifs, those witty quotes slapped on images. Her work is just perfectly built for the digital age.
Which really leaves us with one last big question to think about. In our own chaotic, super fast-paced world, why are we so drawn to her stories? Her world of romance, of social rules, of that razor-sharp wit. What does our obsession with Jane Austen's universe really tell us about the one we're living in right now?